about why laughter is still the best medicine with Mike Cotayo. Humanity Chats. Hold on tight. We are both dancing to that music.
I was
Hello.
loving the music.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Humanity Chats, where we get together to talk about everyday issues that impact humans. Today, we have Mike Cotayo joining us, and we would love for Mike to introduce himself to us and also share a fun fact about himself.
Hi, everybody. My name's Mike Cotayo. I am a stand-up comedian. Fun fact about myself. Let's see. Um, I was an extra on Saturday Night Live when I was in my 20s, and I had so much fun. And while I was sitting there, the guest host, who was Megan Mullally, who played Karen on Will and Grace, waved at me. I felt so special. Um, yeah, I am a stand-up comedian, and I worked for years as a um, licensed mental health therapist and a social worker. I'm a social worker by trade. I love being a social worker because you get to help people change. And one thing I learned early on in my career that is that if I shared laughter with the people I was helping, they would get better faster. They would see the bright side of things. And I believe laughter really helps heal people. So that's my intro.
Well, thank you for sharing that out. To be an extra on Saturday Night Live, I would have liked to be a fly on that wall. I have not
Oh, it
had
was
that
amazing.
experience.
It was amazing. I loved it. I've had so many great experiences doing stand up. I can't even begin to tell you.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Life is full of surprises, and when we get these opportunities, we grab them, right, Mike?
Right, right.
Well,
With
viewers,
the whole bunch of horns.
yes, well, viewers, listeners, welcome to Humanity Chats as always. Thank you. We're in 60 plus countries now. That is so amazing. I'm like, how does this happen? We are so grateful to you for tuning in week after week. Today, we're going to be talking about why laughter is still the best medicine. Sometimes we have some down moments, and laughter has been able to lift us up. As Mike is a comedian, he will share his experience, and maybe we can learn a thing or two about how to lift our spirits up. So, Mike, why are you saying laughter is still the best medicine?
Because I've been through a lot in my life, and I tell people if I didn't have laughter, I'd probably be dead. So, I was in a car accident when I was 18 months old, and because of that car accident, I had a brain injury, and that caused me to be physically disabled. So I walk with a limp. I can't really use my left hand, and I learned really early on. I learned at like 7 years old that people felt sorry for me, and if I made them laugh, they wouldn't feel sorry for me. So very early on, I learned humor was a tool I had at my disposal to help people feel comfortable with me, and it's been a part of my life ever since.
Oh, wow. You know, I'm sorry to hear about your car
Eh,
accident. Um, and it's interesting. How did you discover that the humor was going to bring people closer to you?
I think it was like I was so young. I don't remember all the details, but what I do remember is that when people would laugh at something I did or said, they would forget for a moment that I was disabled. And so it really made it easier to just be myself, because I was the type of person who never wanted anyone to feel sorry for me. And so that was kind of my driving force. You have people nowadays who are like, oh, feel bad for me and I'll get further. And that to me is never the case. Like, I always felt like I wanted people to see me as a human first, and that's how I still am.
Well, see you as a human first, and now you are on Humanity Chats. From what you're telling me, I gather that the laughter is not just good for you, the person who is creating the laughter, but it's also good for the people on the receiving end.
Oh yeah, for sure. When I worked as a social worker, I worked a lot in communities, and I worked in this one job where this one guy, he was known as Raven, and he was called Raven because he was always raving mad. And so one day I walked into the room and he was yelling at everybody like, who stole my effing boombox or something, and he misplaced it. No one stole it. He put, and so I walked into the day room and I put my hand on his shoulder and I go, "Good morning, sunshine." And he turned and looked at me, and it jolted him out of his experience. And he just started laughing because no one ever called him Sunshine before. And from that moment on, he was known as Sunshine to me. And, whenever I said that to him, he would smile and laugh. And so that just goes to show how little things can really change people's attitude.
Yeah, the little things that change people's attitude. Now, sometimes it's hard to find humor. Can you tell us ways that we can find or create some of this humor?
That's a great question. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. So we all go through things that are hard, right? And my job as a stand-up comedian is to highlight those things that are hard and find the little humoristic things, humoristic idiosyncrasies in them. And so it could be something that is being said, it could be a challenge, it could be looking at the way people do things silly that is different. Like my daughter, one day, she got a karaoke machine for Christmas, and one day I walked into the house, and she had her karaoke machine on, and she wasn't singing, she was telling jokes on the karaoke machine. And I thought, there's a chip off the old block, I gotta take her to an open mic. So it's little things like that may not be haha hilarious, but you find the little bits of joy in them.
So, is it like finding a little bit of happy out of situations? It could be even just trying to find an example, like just the way you may be eating your ice cream or making a face.
Oh my god, when I eat, I get it all over. I look like a 3-year-old. My mouth is covered in food. So yeah, things like that. Or, yesterday I was eating oatmeal and I dropped it on my shirt. It's embarrassing, but if you just laugh at it, no one can make fun of you.
Don't sweat the small stuff, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Mike, I know you're saying this, but sometimes it's hard. You may be in a state where, especially with mental health issues going up, you may be in a state where it might be hard for you to laugh at something. How do you try to dig yourself out of that? I know you've had some life experiences, and so would you mind sharing with us how we can get ourselves out of that stupor, sadness, or
Sure.
to find that medicine?
So I when so I'm gonna give you a little bit of my history. So I told you about the car accident, And when I was older, I became addicted to drugs and alcohol. And that was one way I didn't utilize my humor to help me through hard stuff. And then because of the drugs and alcohol, I ended up getting diagnosed with HIV. And so those were really hard things to go to. And, you know, I lost a lot of weight when I was diagnosed with HIV. And, in my mind, I was really upset, but in my mind, I go, but look, I just lost 20 pounds. Amazing. So that was a little way I could help myself laugh at that really difficult time in my life. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does make sense. Sometimes we may find it hard. We may be hard on ourselves, depending on where we find ourselves. But what you're saying is you took your situation and tried to create some humor to make yourself feel better.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Well, laughter is still the best medicine. Did we ever doubt that?
Some people, sometimes, I mean, it's hard, right? There are some people who find it really difficult to find the humor in things. They want to feel like the world is out to get them. And to those people, I say, find a way to laugh, find a way to have fun with yourself. That's what it's all about. I want to pull people up, not make them feel heavier or weighed down by tragedy.
So, Mike, tell me this. When you were younger, you found laughter, but then as you got older, you got into drugs and alcohol, but then somehow you found the laughter back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, even when I was using, I still had a sense of humor. It was just that I tried coping with things negatively in a negative way. Laughter has really helped save me from so many horrible situations because if you're able to look at things through a humorous perspective, they're not that hard to deal with. My also come from a family of very humorous people. My mom hated long hair, and when I was younger, I had hair down to my shoulders, and um, she was also very religious. So one day I said to her, Mom, she said to me, "Cut your hair. You look horrible." I'm like, "But mom, Jesus had long hair." And she goes, "Yeah, but they crucified him. Cut your hair." So that was I get my humor from my family. That that is really they're one of the biggest influences in my life into using humor to get through the hard times.
Well, so it looks like you had a sense of humor, and so did your mom, and so the two of you were able to get each other. As you said, you used this word "save." You said laughter has saved you. Can you give us some examples? As people are listening all across the globe, somebody may be going through something right now, and your words may be what will help that person get out of that situation.
Great. If you are struggling with something, get help. Talk to a friend. And oftentimes talking to a friend will help get you out of that experience. In recovery, they have this saying that if you help someone else, you're not focused on yourself. So reach out to the other person, talk to them. Having a cup of coffee with someone and having a good chat can help you get outside yourself. And oftentimes, when we have chats with people we laugh. There's that common interest. And years ago, I created a program helping healthcare providers learn how to use laughter with their patients. And one thing that was said is laughter is a universal language. Every human is born with the ability to laugh. Your sense of humor may be different, but your ability to laugh is universal. So if you take that universal knowledge of being able to laugh and apply it, it can really help to change your day. Now, that's not to say humor will solve everything, but there's this gentleman named Norman Cousins who, legend has it, in the 1970s cured his cancer with laughter. He got a cancer diagnosis, locked himself in a hotel room, gave himself massive doses of vitamin C, and laughed himself to health. Now, that sounds ridiculous to us in this day and age, but I believe laughter really can promote your T cells, can help change your body chemistry, can give you the good endorphins, can give you the good endorphins that can help you to get better.
Good endorphins. Now, viewers, listeners, if you caught that there, we're not saying that if you're sick, don't go to the hospital. This was an example that Mike was giving from something he had heard. So, if you're sick,
Go
remember
to the hospital.
your medicine. Yes, but Mike just talked about how when you focus on someone else, it takes the attention from you. And I found that, for example, even if you're in I wouldn't say a dark place, but you may not be feeling optimal about something, and you share somebody else's good news, or you're happy for someone else. Somehow that happiness can rub off you because there is enough sun to go over all of us, and so just help your neighbor. Pay
I
attention.
love that saying. There's enough sun to go over all of us. That's beautiful. I really believe like there's enough laughter to go around. If you it's in the same vein, right? If you laughter is contagious. So if you start to laugh, you'll infect someone else with laughter, which is a good thing to infect them with. So that keeps the reality going that we can all survive. And isn't the world a much better place when you're able to enjoy it?
Yes, the world is a great place when you're able to enjoy it. Unfortunately, life is not fair, and we can't always enjoy. But I do have social media, and I realize that when I look at certain people's posts in my feed, it elevates me. For example,
Mm.
this guy called Jay Shetty. I may look at a Jay Shetty quote and I will smile because it's something that's motivational. So if you don't have anybody to even talk to directly, sometimes there are personalities out there that you can maybe look up and grab a little bit of their sense of humor. And you did say that laughter is universal. I run an experiment a few months ago. I was with my son. For those that listen to the podcast a lot, I like to talk about my kid. I was I was with my son, and he was like, "Mom, what are you doing?" I decided that I was going to greet strangers, and I was going to smile, grin so bad at them. And I think people were getting confused because then they thought, "Does she know me?" So I'll see you and I'll be like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And the person would respond and smile back because it's like, do I know her? Am I confused? So yes, laughter is universal. There may be some people who might think you're crazy if you do that, if you do what I did, but
You know what? The good kind of crazy. There's crazy, crazy, and then there's ooh crazy. Look at
mhm,
her.
mhm, mhm. Well, Mike, I cannot believe that so soon. We've been on here for 20 minutes and we
Have
have 5 minutes to go. Yes, yes. Can you share some life experiences where laughter helped you? I know you shared about your accident. You shared about your past with the alcohol and addiction. Can you share some additional specific instances where laughter lifted you out of a situation so that our viewers can relate to those as well?
You know, um, this sounds really down, but death is one of the most tragic things someone can go through. And I know that recently I lost my mom, and I think about all the times she made me laugh and all of the times like we've shared those moments of laughter, and those are the things that really can help me, and I imagine help someone else think about the good times they've had with someone. When you think about the bad times, it brings you down. So I have on my phone videos of my mom just laughing, and I'll sometimes pull them up and look at them, and it reminds me of the love she had for life, and those inspire me to keep on going.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear about your mom. The little that we've spoken, I can tell that she was very important to you.
Yes.
You talking about watching those videos, I'm sure it brings you some kind of relief just to watch her laugh. But at the same time, I know it'll probably be tough during the holidays and special moments like that. Um, um,
Yeah.
hang in
Her
there.
birthday just passed, so I'm thinking
Mm,
about her more, and
mm.
that was that was hard. But with hard moments come good memories.
Yeah, yeah. With hard moments come good memories. I don't know why I'm tearing up. I'm
I
sorry.
see that. Thank
Yeah, I'm
um,
sorry. Now I've lost my train of thought.
no, don't worry. I did not mean to make you cry.
Yeah. um. Oh my goodness.
It's such a universal experience, losses. So
Mm.
it, it, it I'm here with you. I feel your pain.
um. Oh, viewers, listeners, if you're here, drop your comments. We don't know what to say next because I my emotions got in the way. But it's been such a great experience listening to Mike. We get to meet people along the journey, and every person that we meet has a role that they play in our life. There's some people that come in and out of our lives. There's some people that come to stay, but we shouldn't discount the people that come into our lives. I believe that there was a reason why Mike joined Humanity Chats today, to tell you that laughter is still the best medicine. Whatever you may be going through, just know that everybody has a story. Mike has been through a lot in his life. There have been some times where it has not been all rosy, but he's managed to pull through, and he is telling you that laughter is good for you. So soon, our time is almost up. Mike, do you have any nuggets to share? Do you have a website where people may be able to maybe learn more about your comedy or anything that you'd
Sure,
like
sure.
viewers to
So
know?
you can I will give you my link tree information. Linktree.com/funnymanmike. My website is funnymanmike.com. Um, I'm Funny Man Mike all over the place. So Instagram, Twitter. There's a few added words on the other platforms, but if you see my image on Funny Man Mike, and you can find me that way. And if anyone ever needs support or to talk, please reach out to me. Send me a DM. I would love to chat with anyone, even you, Margie. If you want to talk about what's going on for you, I'm happy to listen. And thank you so much for having me on.
Well, I appreciate the offer, Mike. Viewers, listeners, this has been Mike Cotayo, joining us on Humanity Chat to tell us why laughter is still the best medicine. I hope you have enjoyed the chat. Come back again and again. We are here on Thursdays to talk about everyday issues that impact humans. If you're not subscribing, this is the time to hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoy our conversations, please leave a review, tell somebody about it, share the message with someone else. I am a storyteller. As some of you know, I am an author. And what I have come to learn is that when we share our stories, we have a way of impacting others because people have similar stories and we don't know without talking to each other. And so, as Mike is saying, laughter is the best medicine. He shared part of his story with you. If you think you're going through something and that nobody knows what you're going through, just know that there's somebody out there who may be going through the same thing or maybe going through worse, and that laughter is good for you. So, from Mike Cotayo and myself, Margie March, your hostess with the mostest, we say thank you for joining Humanity Chats.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, y'all. We'll see you next time. Stop it!